Tres. Kind of crazy how like we're back on the bandwagon because for the longest time these Marvel shows come out and we're like, oh yeah, that kind of happened. But this one, this one hits different. We're back on because we start off things pretty well. You know, this show is been hitting topics that I've not seen. Well, I guess maybe most law shows can get pretty serious about that. I think that's kind of the beauty of all this, that even though it's something that affects all of us to a very fucking minuscule detail, it's something that we don't really entertain as often in our day-to-day lives, with actual consciousness as to why we follow these rules, what they do for us, and realistically, who are they for? What do they set up? And yeah, we get very, very dangerous when it comes to crossing those lines because we have those guys kind of discussing how to go forward. It really seems helpless to try to fight this uphill battle when you know that everybody's out there looking at you, kind of being like, "Yo, this guy is he's a cop killer. You know, he's trash. You know, if we uphold the idea that these coppers are the ones that are above the law, they are the law, then naturally anything that challenges that perception, that thought process, is outside of our our rights, outside of our acceptance of what is right or wrong. But sometimes, realistically, I think you do need to ask yourselves, why do we have these rules? Now, I know I haven't always been the most accepting when it comes to authoritative law figures, but I never thought of it as a negative thing. The idea of questioning what rules, why they are placed, and how do they protect us in the future, I think means more than just blindly saying yes sir, yes ma'am, oh okay, oh. And it's very important, at least when you're trying to understand oneself. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time to, you know, go out to party and go uphold the mass vibe, the energy, the happiness. And there is a time to go to the fucking Himalayas and go meditate with yourself and really reflect on why you've done these things and who does that say about who you will become. People call that meditation. I just call it Tuesday. It's a Thursday. Um, so it's pretty interesting, man. And I keep on calling them out. That the whole little BB report, which is the young lady who is currently Wilson Fisk's favorite producer, because she probably has her little YouTube channel that everybody watches. So Fisk wants. Such a great line. in an office point, the lady, his campaign manager goes, "With all due respect, sir, we have the Times. Like, we got this fucking giant publication of a network to like take notes if you want to talk to him." But this dumbass Wilson Fisk goes like, "No, I thought with YouTube person. Let's go talk to her." Because popularity, Instagram numbers, blah 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 blah. BS. Optics, as they called it in the last episode. And yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting because again, the Times is supposed to be this beacon of news reporting, this bastion of information that is going to be sent throughout the heavens and all of America. But who decided that? And why did that work for the longest time? And right now, is it working? What is the new thing? Who decides to question? Why are we just gonna write paper when we can produce videos, when we can talk about this IRL or in real time, IRT? Yeah, IRT, in real time. And yeah, that's what it means to innovate, to question, to wonder, to improve. I'm not gonna say it's all gonna be for the better. It's not gonna be beautiful. It's not gonna be clean. But when there is true value, and I mean like value is only a thing because the general populace decides to say, "Hey, that thing, that's pretty cool. Let's appreciate this, yeah." So it's really on the populace to decide what we are going to value, as it decides what matters. The truth matters, at least to me. And here's when things get exciting. And yes, I do mean exciting. Because, yeah, we're just going through the whole point of this. That while there is a system in play, there is a judicial system that we have learned to believe in and to count on and to say, oh, the judge hit the gavel. That is done deal. But is it working? Is it still doing the purest job it was intended to do? Or what do we have in our current judicial system, our current legislative system, our current senatorial? And man, man, yeah. The whole idea of there's this little cool little parallel, and I noticed it when they shifted from Wilson Fisk's Knuckles when he's talking to his wife at breakfast, kind of like showing their relationship status, the status quo, and both quiet, eating their breakfast. She's drinking her tea or whatever, and TLDR, the wife goes like, "Yo, man, it's the mafia guys are it's a mess out there. Like, shit's breaking down. Why aren't we doing anything about this?" And Fisk, right, mayor in town, new mayor in chief, he's kind of like dismissing her, very very much so dismissing her, and he's basically at the end of it he goes, "Oh, it's fine. They're animals, but us, we're doing better things. I'm doing better things." Whew, that's already like a little bit of tension. Let's talk about that. Poor kids, man. Because that comes around, right? Later on, we get to see this relationship develop even more. We get more deeper into it because again, they're visiting a therapist to try to make things better. But the best part about this is that right before the therapist shows up, they get serious. They go for it, and essentially because things were breaking down, and her name is Vanessa, I believe, right? His wife. Because Vanessa had been running everything for so long without Fisk, it kind of became her identity, I would say. She was good at it, she enjoyed it, and she had fun inside the company. And then Fisk returns, and yeah, it changes everything. Chaos ensues. Chaos, just another word for the unnatural law of order, of this order. If there is a law of order, there is a natural reaction opposing to it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the balance of the universe. The force. But in doing so, he starts to kind of create a diversion between him and his wife, because he understands that she did good and she did great, and he left her, basically TLDR, he left her. He had to go rebuild himself, but he left her essentially without a word and all that stuff. So she did her own thing, but him coming back kind of like makes him go like instead of just like really talking about things, because I guess maybe things, there was nothing left to talk about, but Wilson has a habit of, shall we say, torturing people. And this torture doesn't always mean something physical, right? Because we don't see Fisk be terrible to his wife, or he last shower, blah blah blah. But there is a division there, because when you don't talk about things, i.e., your wife hooking up with one of the mob bosses while you were gone meditating in the Himalayas, it builds resentment. And resentment is an interesting concept, because it really brings out the worst in someone, right? Because instead of just naturally processing things, maybe talking it out, maybe punching it out if you're to that level, figure things out, meditation, etc., you're essentially letting something brew in the background, and even though you're not paying attention to it, it's still taking up you. Like so. So, what really sucks is when these two really open up, and open up is a good word to use, because at a certain point, when that resentment can't be held anymore, you take off the mask. You know, that is the idea of not having a healthy communicative relationship, and you're both just revealing it to each other and going at it. And her TLDR is, I get it, I cheated, and you're punishing me for, like, by keeping me away from the circle, by taking away this enterprise from me, and essentially kind of like making her feel useless, I guess, which is pretty intense, pretty damn intense. I don't think I'd want to be in that situation, but when you're married to a mayor who, cough cough, is leading a national powerhouse, and the media is swarming you, going like, yo man, why aren't they holding hands? Yo man, did you see that little diss? Yo man, this guy can't get laid by his own wife. Yes, it gets that bad. It says a lot about the person, right? That is the concern. Because if your own spouse can't love you, who the fuck are you? And that's where we get back to it. How you do anything is how you do everything. Because to the very core, this man feels negative things. And no amount of Himalaya soul searching has done that for him. But, you know, that's what we want to focus on is when a man, a boy, a child with that level of resentment, going back, resentment, suddenly gets the keys to the city. What sort of order or chaos do we expect? That's the one. Because yes, how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So now, let's go flashback, way back in the back to when Fisk had bloody knuckles after having this breakfast conversation with his wife. We get a quick camera switch to Matt Murdock in his apartment or whatever, washing his bloodied knuckles, bloody bruised knuckles. Yes, Wilson Fisk was on his left, and Matt Murdock's knuckles were on the right. And again, we're getting to two sides of the same story. Because at the end of the day, who is Fisk doing this for? Let's get into it. Matt Murdock, doing the best that he can to be the world's best attorney, right? It's interesting how this episode actually really brought some sort of urgency, some levity, some stakes. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it, you know, it's probably just because I'm from Latino Mexico descent that I feel things for this character, because obviously there's a lot of stories out there who never fucking get a chance to be told. It's just that simple. And man, when this guy goes off about like he misses Rico and how he wants to go see his hometown because he thinks about the sounds of the what were done quokka frogs, the frogs that live in that area, native to that area. It really resides because we're all just environmental subjects of your environment. Yes, nature versus nurture, but your environment will essentially dictate how you perceive things outside of your circle. So you need to really understand where a person comes from and why certain things go about the way they do. And not to say that everyone will come out from the same circle being the same person. That's just stupid. Everyone is individual. It's the idea that from this state, what do we improve? How can we grow? How can we innovate, right? How can we just do better is the idea, I think. Believe. Because, man, I like Ace Attorney as much as the other guy. Maybe I should play it more because I haven't played it in forever. But yeah, when these two are going at it with the court things and you know, things are getting intense. You know, there's even a whole shtick where they fucking they switcherooed the star witness, and it was very exciting. Damn, it had no right being this exciting. But even then, man, we get to a point where said star witness is like, nah, man, I'm afraid of the cops. I can't do this. Which, yeah, again, says a lot, man. There's a quote out there saying that for evil to succeed, it only needs good men to stay quiet. And yeah, man, this guy fucking dropped the ball. Very, very fucking hard. If you really want to blame someone at the end of the day, blame this guy. Because, like, it's like, I got a kid, man, I got a kid. It's like, yeah, but you're a fucking druggie. So let go of the drugs and go focus on your fucking kid. Maybe you won't be in a situation, but again, this is New York, this is a city, and this is a person who didn't want to put in the effort to really reinforce certain values to do their utmost best to not to get to a certain point. And I'm not saying that's easy. It's never fucking easy. But it's your challenge. It's your progress. It's your prerogative. And it's a choice. It's who you want to be. So, when this dipshit fucking says, no man, I don't know, it wasn't me. Yeah, it really throws everything into a spiral. Everything that they've worked for, every kind of goodwill, every hope, every kind of like, every shred of hope in that second, just out the window. And that sucks. It really, really sucks. It's tough to be in a place where even when you have no control of the situation, but you have to. You don't have to, but for the most part, the best part is to let the winds carry you until you can stabilize yourself. And nobody knows when that will be. And it's your choice and it's your prerogative. And you wish you the best of luck, because sometimes you might almost drown. But it is what happens, right? In the face of chaos, how do you persevere? Matt Murdock, desperation, in the moment of self, right? Not checking in with anybody. Didn't tell anybody. The lawyer whips out the white tiger mask in the courtroom. Whew. Say what you will. Say what you will. Whether he made the right choice, made the wrong choice. But at the end of the day, man, spending years to create a vision, an ideal, a purpose, and some people have to keep it low key because it's maybe not always shame, but maybe protection, maybe not always protection, but maybe just like a sense of like, nah man, don't let it be me. It's just, I need to do this, but it's not about me. Respect. So if someone's gonna come out there and really freaking blast you out in public, because everybody is watching this cop killer, go in court against Wilson Fisk, the mayor. And yeah, this guy pulls out all the stops, whips out the mask, freaks the freak out of everybody inside that room, and TLDR just goes, hey man, that's a hero, with or without the mask. Not because they're superpowery, not because they have a fancy costume, but he asks Hector Ayala, why did you save those people? I fucking love this guy. Because it was the right thing to do. 3 times. All you need to know. And so, we get the verdict. One last second though. We do see a little bit of the opposition, the prosecutor, really tried to instill fear into the public jury, the public jury, explaining what exactly happens when you get run over by a subway train. And like, sure, we know this information now, but did we really need it? And why did you tell us? And why are you here? So, jury passes. Not guilty. All 3 counts. Breath of fresh air. A sigh of relief. White knuckles going red again. And everything is nice. Everything is good. For one night. For one moment. For one day. The system worked. Except for Wilson Fisk. Of course, Wilson Fisk. The one man above the riffraff. The one man to know truth. The one man to be above it all. Courts fail. Juries get it wrong. Direct quote from Wilson Fisk as he's, again, asking this YouTuber girl, BB's report, and not the New York Times, to talk about this. Going straight to the masses, ignoring the business side. Because, yeah, a salty person like that isn't gonna let something go. And here's where we get to the shtick of everything. Why did Matt Murdock pull out the mask? Why reveal his secret? In a jail cell, he tells Ayala, it's because I'm trying to keep you out of jail, man. Prison, yeah. But on that night, on the next night, next night, fuck if I know, Ayala puts on the mask and walks out into the city, ready to be the man he is, the White Tiger. On his patrol, he hears a scream and glass shatter. He thinks he hears his direction, and he takes off. Sucks, man. It really, really sucks that you have to walk around doing this. Really stick to the rooftops, buddy. That's exactly why we stick to the rooftops, but that's beyond the point. Around the corner, that's a setup. Somebody waiting for him blasts him right in the dome. And that is the end of a hero. The last night of the White Tiger. He did say that in that jail cell, he did tell Matt Murdock that the White Tiger isn't just a mask. It's who I am. Right. And we talked about last week, we talked about Superman. We like to talk about Superman. Let's talk about Superman one more time. You like Superman? Okay, let's talk about Superman one more time. Superman from Kill Bill, Part 2. Bill says that Superman is his favorite because while everybody puts on a suit to be Spider-Man, to be Batman, to be Green Lantern, Superman puts on a suit to be himself. It's the one time that he can actually fully let go of his restraints, his little business suit, and he can take off into the sky and fucking fly faster than a speeding bullet. Because that's who he is. He's also the beacon of America, and he's supposed to represent everything good about us that we know that we can't uphold ourselves, so we create an image of something stronger than us to combat every single possible negativity that can face us while we believe in a better ideal, a better image, a better process, better sense of justice. But that only happens if we're all in it to win it, you know? A house divided cannot stand. You got multiple races in this motherfucker, so you better fucking figure that one out soon. We have an internet that can reach millions of people in the span of seconds, but we have information that is destroying the bonds we've built for generations. For what? For whom? For why? an island in the sun. But anyways, the death of a hero. Ayala himself said that if he were to go, he'd go in the suit because it is who he is. So it's almost poetic that he goes out in his suit. The people will forever know him as the man who saved, rather than the Ayala who killed. And that is beautiful in its own right, but it's also fucking depressing that that is the only way a minority can make a difference. Because if not, he'd just be another invisible man. And there's too many good people out there who are not being respected the way that dumbasses, douchebags, and fearmongers are being feared. Did you ever watch Bug's Life? You know those grasshoppers, little fuckers? Watch the end of that movie and realize everybody's fucking time is limited. Everybody's. No amount of fucking DNA splicing or fucking popper pills will fix that fact. Yes, you'll extend some bullshit. Yeah, you'll fuck up your life, but all that really matters is what happens after. Because everything that you observe and represent is just chaos around you. But there is beauty in chaos, not because we control it, but because we learn to live with it. And that is how you learn how to save your marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, this show has keep on hitting on multiple levels, and like I said, I never saw myself as a court drama enthusiast, but son of a bitch, this shit fucking got me right in the heart. And I don't know if we can expect more like quality. You know, I don't like to ask for more things because I think it's just, I'm just here to respect what happens. If I don't like it, I'll walk away. But man, I want to finish this, and I need to know what people are saying about it. So please leave a comment down there. Tell me what's going on, because it's crazy how we're just getting these things and we're either just fucking sitting here every Wednesday waiting for a reaction from one dumbass, or we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, it really is, nothing's gonna help, nothing's fucking working, and no one's paying attention. But yeah, man, we have to wait and see. 50% tariffs, 50% off. And Canada is pretty mad at us. But don't worry, eh? I'm pretty good at hockey. Join me. Throw me on your team. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. But until then, thanks for hanging out. If you like this, and you enjoyed any of it, and you hope to see the next episode, leave a like. Spin your boy. EXP 666 Stitch. Hasta la próxima.